Every great empire thinks it's eternal until the final 80 years begin. Most people believe that the collapse of a great power is sudden and unexpected disaster with no warning, no pattern, no rulebook. But history tells a different story. From Rome to Imperial China, from the Ottoman Empire to the USSR, and even modern America, every major civilization has followed the same predictable life cycle, a natural rhythm lasting roughly 80 to 120 years. This isn't superstition. It's not guesswork. It has a pattern confirmed by three of the most influential models in modern historical and economic research. Ray Dalio's long-term debt cycle, Peter Turchin's structural demographic theory, and the fourth turning generational model. Despite coming from different fields, economics, mathematics, and sociology, each model reaches the same conclusion. Every society goes through an inevitable decline cycle. And once that clock starts ticking, nothing can stop it, only reset it. Every great civilization begins its journey with unity, discipline, and purpose. At this stage, the system is strong. The institutions are trusted. The people believe in sacrifice and long-term building. Wealth is earned through real productivity, not risky speculation. This is the foundational era, a time of expansion, innovation, stable families, strong leadership, and carefully managed debt. Rome experienced this during the first 200 years of the Pax Romana. China's Tang and Song dynasties flourished under incredible technological and economic revolutions. The Ottoman Empire dominated world trade in the 15th century. And post-World War II, America entered the strongest growth phase in modern history. This is the stage where nations grow, not just in wealth, but in their moral clarity and shared sense of direction. But as prosperity grows, something else grows with it: complacency. People forget the struggles that built the system in the first place. Luxury becomes the new normal. Debt becomes easy and accessible. Expectations start to rise much faster than actual productivity. This is the era of overproduction, overconfidence, and overextension. Ray Dalio calls this the debt bubble phase. Peter Turchin calls it the elite overproduction phase. The fourth turning model calls it the unraveling. Whatever you call it, the meaning is the same. Success creates the seeds of its own decline. Society starts creating more elites than the system can support, leading to intense internal competition. Inequality skyrockets as wealth funnels to the top. Social trust, the glue that holds a nation together, begins to erode. Money flows upward, not outward to the general population. And slowly, silently, the cracks start to appear in the foundation. This isn't a sudden event. It's a gradual shift, a slow hollowing out from the inside that goes unnoticed until it's too late. After decades of rising inequality and political polarization, society enters a critical stage where stability turns into crisis. The rich concentrate their power and influence. The poor lose opportunities for upward mobility. Key institutions, from government to the justice system, stop functioning effectively for the average person. The political class divides into extreme, warring factions. National debt becomes unpayable. Family structures weaken. Crime rates rise. And the middle class, the bedrock of any stable society, begins to collapse under financial pressure. This is the 80 to 120-year breaking point. History repeats itself almost word for word. Rome faced devastating civil wars. China's great dynasties fell to famines, widespread corruption, and popular rebellion. The Ottoman Empire decayed under internal division and economic stagnation. The USSR collapsed under the weight of its own economic pressure and military overreach. And America today faces the same classic warning signs: extreme polarization, record inequality, staggering debt, and deep institutional distrust. In fact, historian Peter Turchin used his models to predict that the 2020s would be a peak instability decade. And so far, he has been disturbingly accurate. When a society finally reaches this tipping point, collapse doesn't always mean total destruction with fire and brimstone. Collapse simply means the old system dies so a new one can be born. It's a fundamental reset. Sometimes this reset takes the form of a revolution. Sometimes it's a period of civil conflict or internal strife. Sometimes it's a severe economic breakdown, like a currency crisis or a Great Depression. And sometimes it's a geopolitical defeat, where a rival power takes over. Rome split, paving the way for the nations of Europe. China rebuilt itself under new dynasties time and again. The Ottoman Empire dissolved into the modern nations we see in the Middle East today. The USSR fragmented into 15 independent countries. Every collapse, no matter how painful, resets the societal clock. It clears out the old broken systems and allows the cycle to begin all over again. So why does this cycle matter to us right now? Because we are living at the edge of one of these historic cycles. Multiple indicators suggest that the world, especially Western systems, is entering a late-stage decline. We're seeing exploding national debt that can never be repaid. We have elite overproduction, with too many people fighting for too few positions of power. There's widening inequality, creating a massive gap between the haves and the have-nots. There's deep distrust in institutions from media to government. We're fighting intense culture wars that divide us. Birth rates are declining and extremism is on the rise. This pattern is the same one that appeared before every other great historical transition. Understanding this cycle doesn't have to create fear. Instead, it can create clarity. Because once you understand the pattern, you can begin to anticipate what might come next and prepare for the changes ahead. Civilizations don't collapse randomly. They collapse rhythmically, predictably, almost mathematically. The 80 to 120-year decline cycle is like a hidden code of history, a powerful reminder that no empire is permanent. No system is eternal, and no society is immune from the consequences of its own success. Every rise contains the seeds of a fall. And every fall contains the promise of a rebirth. That is the real, unfiltered story of human civilization. Subscribe for more financial truth stories.